Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global News. So, most of you who booted up the game today would have saw this, all this news. It's surprising to me even. So, Cloud Special featured summon, Deja Vu guys, Deja Vu. Yes, it's back apparently. Cloud, Alfreda, William, and Conrad, the exact same units. I kind of wish that they could have even given us just a regular filler banner. But instead they brought us the exact same banner that we got a couple months ago when Cloud was first dropped. Now, obviously for those of you who are new, Cloud, man, it's Cloud. This is great. This is great for you. Got some good Trust Masters. This is a banner you definitely want to pull on if you're new. If you're an older player, or maybe you didn't pull Cloud or Alfreda the first time, this is your chance to do so. And we're going to talk about something else that is also featured in this news today that will really help the odds for you pulling these units. But anyways, Cloud Trustmaster reward Buster style. Now even at this point in JP, the 7-star meta, Buster style is one of those TMRs that you want to have, at least one of them, just because of all the true double hand units. So later on in the future, if you don't play JP and you're kind of new to global, we're all into the dual wielding units because they can hit twice, you can get more attack. But later on we're gonna go to true double hand, and you can dual cast your skills, etc., but you get way more power out of those units. So Buster style is always going to be one that you want. Now on global, the only thing is that you can't stack Buster style, but in JP you can. It's almost unnecessary to stack in JP now either, just because the true double hand units that hit hard also have true double hand passives, and there's a cap to it, 300% cap. Once you hit that cap, you can no longer get any stronger than that. So it's kind of okay that in global you can stack Buster style. So you want that. Now Cloud right now as a finisher, he's still decent. Later on, I think Cloud almost becomes irrelevant. I think there are stronger finishers and also the true double hand units that can chain and also cap their own chains, so finish their own chains. Alfreda, again, must have. Martial Glove will go a long way for you. So 40 plus 40 raw attack, and then also enables Aurora and true double hand. Now the true double hand is has a 50% double hand effect. So if you have one weapon equipped, you get 50% attack to the raw weapon attack. So that's how the math is calculated for true double hand. And Alfreda herself is sort of fun to have if you have an ice team. She has a lot of counters with ice and perils, etc. So again, if you don't have these units, this is your chance. It's going to be great. And if you're pulling, you're going to get William, which Mage's Resolution is pretty good. Boost defense and mag when equipped with Rod. And also Conrad probably has, I would say right now, a pretty important TMR, Revolving Stall, 130 attack, two-handed weapon. So if you don't have, let's say, like Beatrix's great sword or large sword, something with higher attack, this is really good because it's a two-handed weapon, so damage variance is higher than a single-handed weapon like Beatrix's great sword, large sword. And later on, we know that CG Hyo will be dropping, and CG Hyo can take advantage of this. CG Hyo will be one of the strongest chainers and chain finishers for a very long time. And even in JP meta right now, he's still not irrelevant. So step up summon Cloud Special. Yes, we have a step up summon now. So this is something that has not appeared in JP. Now, whether or not Gummy would decide to do a step up for every single banner, we have no idea. So basically, Square Enix is the publisher of both games, both the JP and global version. But Gummy is the developers, as in they could take what is rightfully Square Enix's and they can develop their own game. Really, a lot of people like to compare global and JP, but you guys should get the mindset that they're actually going to be different games. Yes, they share units, yes, they share skills and a lot of core game mechanics, but you also have to see that Gummy is an independent developer hired by Square Enix to make the global version. So it's going to be natural that they're going to create something, create aspects of the game that are different from JP. They're actually two different games. You have to look at it that way. I've accepted that, and once you've accepted that, there's not much to complain about. Now, obviously, the game needs to make money, right? It's a free-to-play game, and so this is just to get more players excited and to get them to spend for Lapis. Now, you can call all you want a developer greedy, but if the developers don't make money, we're not gonna get a game. So we got to thank them for this, and you have to think about the step-up summons as actually a bargain deal. Now, the only thing is, if you pulled the Cloud banner back when it was first released without the step-up, you might be a bit salty. You might be left with a bit of salt, because you'd be like, oh man, I pulled so many Lapis, but then here you get one guaranteed every single 25k, right? And you get with 15,000 Lapis, you get a rainbow right off the bat. On the third step. So yes, you might be salty, but step up summons, man, if Global decides to do this, and because JP doesn't do this, not all the time, they don't always give you step up banners, I think, but if Global decides to do every single released unit has a step up banner, which we see that CG Lid didn't, but if every other banner has a step up banner, we're all going to be really happy about that, because if you're spending Lapis, you may as well be pulling on this, whether you're free to play or pay to play. So again, I myself, I have three Alfreda right now. One was pulled, like I meant to pull her, and one Cloud I meant to pull him. Two Alfredas came from off-banner rainbows, and the second Cloud I have also came from an off-banner rainbow. Now, you may be asking, again, why do I need two Buster Styles? Or already have Cloud, I don't need another one. The thing is, you might want to. So again, in future case, you might have like a true double hand unit like Oron in JP right now, one of the best breakers. But because if you're gonna have him breaking, you also want to have him chaining, so you want a Buster Style slapped on him. And let's say you have a CG Hyo or even Jekt from Final Fantasy X, which is also another true double hand unit. You might want another Buster Style. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Two Buster Styles won't be a waste. Just because they can't stack on one unit doesn't mean you can't use them on two very strong powerhouses. And Alfreda herself, I would say that in the current 7-star meta in JP, Alfreda's Martial Glove actually becomes irrelevant, almost irrelevant, as in because of the true double hand passives on the units in 7-star. You won't be using two Alfreda's gloves. You're only using one per unit. So if you have two Alfreda, I think that's a really good start, because you can use it on one powerhouse unit right now, and then when the 7-star meta comes, you could split those gloves into two. But anyways, like I said, I have three Alfreda right now. So my short conclusion is I won't be pulling on this banner whatsoever, because I don't need any more Clouds, I don't need any more Alfreda. I think that I can probably get more of them when they drop off banner rainbows. The very last thought on this banner is, obviously, if you are pulling for Cloud has one of the best, well, I would say the best, great sword, large sword STMR. So 4 Clouds gets you an STMR, ultimate weapon, 180 attack, two-handed weapon with a higher damage variance than someone like CG Hyo's STMR. And as you can see, the banner says it's back, Final Fantasy VII Event Dungeon, destroy the reactor. So we're going to continue on our Final Fantasy VII theme, apparently. It seems to be a theme that Gummy really sticks to now. Bring back all the Final Fantasy franchise events in one go. So before our Final Fantasy X release with Yuna and Lulu, we had a rerun of Titus and Riku's event. And so it's kind of funny, I guess, that they bring it back just because we had Sephiroth's event. Now there's another King Mog event, which means more tickets, more items, so it's always going to be good. And of course, rocking that Final Fantasy VII music in the background. Now, you might have just cringed hearing me hum the music, but it's awesome. I wish the battles were longer and harder, so you actually can hear the music for longer instead of just one turn KOing everything. But anyways, we get these soldiers. You want to complete complete the quest for some lapis and etc. And you get again tickets and some materia, abilities, nailbat, two-handed weapon, Shinra beta. Again, not the best accessories, but as I always say in King Mog events, if you're new, these are always going to be useful for you, so definitely pick them up. Now, the only question I have is, with the event running in repetition so close to itself, I'm wondering if people who beat this get the rewards again. I'm not quite sure, but again, I'm not too psyched about these rewards anyways. But in other news, if this continues on with that challenge event by the end of the week, we're also going to get I actually don't remember. Oh, it's that I think it's that Scorpion dude from the reactor when you first play Final Fantasy 7, that machine Scorpion. And you get, I think, Cloud's uniform in that, which is kind of like Sephiroth's long coat. It gives you a 15 attack raw, and it's a free item. So if we get that event back, we get that challenge event back, then well, definitely pick that up. If you can get 2, even better. So I guess it's a good thing that this is coming back. Anyways, as usual, King Mog events, you want to pull the units for bonus units. Now, I'm not going to be having too hard of a time. Like I said, I have 2 Cloud, 3 Alfreda, and so I'm gonna get 500% bonus just by myself. And then obviously I think most of my friends on the friends list have Alfreda or Cloud by now, so it's gonna be a 600% each run. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be easy. I'm gonna probably complete the King Mog event in less than a week. I'm guessing. And anyways, yes, so pull away, have fun with this event, the rerun, and again, enjoy the music. And in other news, we have new trials here. Brachiosaur, the fearsome foe in the far plane, grows even stronger. So if you fought him in the far plane, in that little, I think it's called like the Tower of the Wind or Tower of the Earth, one of them, you probably fought him before. Now this is just like the white dragon in the Chamber of the Indignant, and these guys hit hard. These guys are pretty hard. If you have trouble with White Dragon is really easy compared to these guys. But of course, every single trial has their own strategies. So we're going to definitely have some fun. Again, I'm going to try to do my best and complete all missions in one go. And hopefully when that comes, yeah, I don't fail too much. Make sure to keep the spell handy, Kupo. Abilities that nullify magic spells might also help Kupo. So these are obviously hints. They're always going to be important. I believe Brachiosaur has Ultima, if I remember correctly. I did take Brachiosaur and Chimera down in JP. That's available on YouTube if you want to take a look at it. But I would say you don't really need to reference that, because at the point of me taking those trials on, I had a carry unit, which was Loves, and basically I think we one turn KO'd them all. I think so. So it might not help. We don't have enough power on global right now to one turn KO them, but it might be a 2-turn KO if you have really strong units. But yes, initial completion reward 100 lapis. Always good to have lapis here. Now this Killer Bow Plus, or Killer Bow Kai in JP, is really good. 118 attack, dark elemental, physical damage 50% versus bird, plant, insect, and beast. If you've seen my kind of trial video on the True Garuda with Final Fantasy 14, you would have saw that I used Dark Knight Cecil, had a equipped bow ability to him to use a dark elemental bow. I believe it's from Brachiosaur 1, so the easy Brachiosaur, and it has dark element, and it also has 50% damage to bird, which is why I used it on the True Garuda, because she's an avian race. But with Killer Bow Plus, you might, have some places where you can do something like that as well. It's gonna be fun to have. Definitely. Mission completion rewards, we get 10% trust removal, we get rare summon ticket, and anti-disaster. This is a great ability. The only thing I think it doesn't have is nullify, petrify. Yes, exactly. So nullify poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, and confusion. Consider this as something that's really good for, let's say, the arena, or in trials that you need status ailment protection, And so for example, like Arena, you might want to have this ability on one of your units and put on a gold armlet, which resists petrify in an accessory, and then you got a unit with full status immunity, which is going to be great. So again, Chamber of the Indignant, and you'll find him there. So I think this is coming right after the maintenance. And we have another trial from the Chamber of the Indignant. Demon Chimera, fearsome foes, and the far plane grows even stronger. Of course, he comes back. Now, Chimera is very strong elementally. I think he's only resistant. I think he's only affected by a couple elements. Like I think wind is one of his weaknesses, but like fire, ice, lightning. I think even holy and dark he's resistant to, so just be careful of that. Its defense and spirit can be broken Kupo, and that's a big hint. You want to break whatever is available for breaking. You want to break them. Since it's susceptible to sleep, make sure you take this to advantage Kupo. So he is susceptible to sleep. Now I'm not quite sure, most of the trials that I've experienced with, when they get status ailments, so like say he put him to sleep, by the second time it's harder to put him to sleep. I'm not quite sure if it's just like bad luck on my side, or if that's actual game mechanic, as in you can't get bosses to have the same status ailments multiple times, or it becomes harder every time. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, you probably want to put them to sleep on turns where you need to heal and where you need to reset and get ready for a next a kill turn or something like that. So I can imagine maybe Elementalist would probably be the way to go, unless you can imperil like wind or something. So because it's weak to wind, so maybe Barbarizia and Shantoto kind of combination. Tornado combinations might be good. Obviously you can go with Transterras and other chainers. I don't think that there is a preference between defense or spirit break, as in to use magic or physical attack, but we'll definitely see more data on this as it comes out. And of course you can look up JP information right now if you want to prepare for it hardcore. Now, Forced Armor Kai, or Forced Armor Plus, 57 defense, 17 spirit, Fire, Ice, Thunder, Wind, and Earth resist plus 20. Now, originally, the original Forced Armor was Fire, Ice, Thunder, resist 10%. This you get 2 extra elements, so that's great, and it's 20%. So for a while, this might be a really good armor if you're facing trials with elemental damage. So in other news, we might, which I'll cover in a bit, we might take this armor and use it on our tanks. Completion rewards, as usual, we get a 10% Trust Moogle if you defeat him with magic here. For party of 4 or less, you get a rare summon ticket, and Heavy Chimera boosts HP and spirit when equipped with heavy armor. Now this is a really good one. If I remember correctly on JP, that it's a 30% or 30% 20%, but I might be wrong, might be lower. It looks like it's a 7-star ability, which means it shouldn't be 30-30. It might be too high. Anyways, I'll have to look into that. You guys will probably find the answer before I do. But again, available at the Chamber of the Indignant, I think after maintenance. Now, this is kind of new for Global, where we have King Mog events, we have raid events, and we have a story event that's going to last for 1 more week, which is Lid's current story event, CG Lids. We have a raid event now, so all 3 events going on at the same time. It feels like JP. It feels like JP. Perhaps Gummy heard some complaints like, oh, there's nothing to do on Global, you know? Whereas JP always has like all 3 events pretty much running simultaneously. Raid types, King Mog types, and then story events pretty much always at the same time. So anyways, we have this Dracotor Lancer. Alright, so apparently this is a JP raid, and it was supposed to be a JP exclusive raid, and then somehow Global decided to import it. Now, again, for the sake of like, you know, people who play JP and Global, maybe the people who play JP was like, hey, this was a good raid, man, bring this to Global. Or it's just because really Gummy wants to fill us with as much content as possible so they can delay banners as long as possible. Again, there's a psychology to it. There's a reason why they do that. It's so that once let's say you're waiting for the Final Fantasy IV banner, which is going to come soon. Kid Rydia and Helmetless, or I think it's like Studious Helmetless Kane, I think that's his name, where they're going to be dropped as the 5 stars, and a lot of people have been waiting for that. And if you're one of those people and you see these fillers, you might go Ree! Alright, so Panda, if you're watching this video, Panda, a mod on my Discord, always go Ree! If you're like Panda and you've been waiting for that banner, you're gonna pull harder because of the delay, right? That's how the human psychology works for some reason, and it does work. So watch this boss, designed by players of the Japanese version, make its debut in global. So again, some people may be salty. It's just like, hey man, it's supposed to be a Japanese exclusive, and it's now on global. So I don't know how to feel about it. To be honest, I'm okay with raid events. You always get some really good stuff. Again, tickets, Moogles, and items. But we're going to take a look at the items. Now, I don't think that these items are really impressive. So obtain recipes, materials, abilities as individual rewards. Elven Staff, you get 64 spirit, 10% HP. It's very low. But again, if you're a new player, don't let this intimidate you. All this will really help you out. Yang Yang Charm is something that I might be looking toward. It's a 79 plus 79 magic, 25 attack, and it's a throwing weapon. Might be good for a hybrid damage dealer like Veritas of the Light, or someone who can use throwing weapons that need either hybrid damage or magic damage. We don't have many throwing weapons, as I recall, that have high magic. So this might be a first, so I probably am looking forward to this. Out of all of them, probably this one the most. Vestment of Prayers, 21 defense, and then 15% spirit. So not 15 spirit, but 15% spirit. Again, it might be really good if your unit has high base spirit. You want to slap as much percentage modifiers as you can, because it's modifying the base spirit. If your unit has low base spirit, you want to avoid the percentage modifiers. You want to go with flat or raw. Other limited equipment: white bandana, Sukumo doll, and kimono vest. Now we don't know what this does. I don't know. I never ran this in JP, so I'm not quite sure what they do. But as you can see, they're 5-star, 5-star, 4-star, and they're not the featured one. So expect that they're gonna be less useful. But again, I'm not sure how this raid is gonna be. Most likely you can probably one turn KO it, find out the race, find out elemental weaknesses, and then you just bring units with killers for that race. You bring elemental imperils or elemental weapons and magic versus his weaknesses, and you should have no problem one turn KOing. So yes, this is the raid summon. So we have a new ally. Kelsis is back. Wow, that's crazy. Alright, so we got a lot of units that came in the previous kind of so basically these raids are like I think there are contests where fans, like, they design their own like bosses and enemies and baddies, and then the ones made into the game are the ones who are selected and have won. Now all of the raid summon units we've seen before, except Ukiyo in the middle there. Ukiyo is new. I've never seen her. I think it's a her. I've never seen her before. We'll see what she's like, but expect that all of the raid units won't be that great. Good news is you're gonna get a lot of free TMRs and free units from this, and even more news. So really packed with a lot of news and a lot of exciting stuff. 3-star Espers unlocked. So following the maintenance that's coming this week, Shiva and Ramuh coming. So you might have been asking, hey man, isn't Golem coming? Because Golem I think was after Ifrit. If you play the story in sequence, I think Golem is after Ifrit. But just to let you know, Golem and Carbuncle I think is coming in the future batch together, and I think they're really difficult. But again, if you're well set up, you should be fine. Shiva and Ramuh, just to let you know, I just recently, kind of like within the month, beat them on JP. So if you are on YouTube and watching this on YouTube and you want a guide, check that out, because I did all missions, so they're not one-turn KO missions, and I actually grinded them down with the strategy on what to do, etc. So basically, Shiva, as you can expect, go with ice resistance, full party, physical and magic ice resistance, and for Ramuh, it's not going to be as hard. Ramuh is going to be just lightning resistance, but only magic. So if you have an AoE tank with lightning resistance 100%, you should have no problem. So we're going to get these more expeditions that you can go for these violet and yellow crysts. So most likely you're going to be grinding them until you're max level. As you know, that all 3-star Espers are really good. Ramuh, I think, has Stone Killer, Magic Stone Killer, like Stone Killer Plus, and I think Demon Killer Plus, something like that. I'm not sure right off the top of my head right now, but something like that. And Shiva also pretty good. She'll be your strongest. She and Ramuh will be your strongest magic Espers if you max out their levels right now. And basically, it won't be too hard. You just need, I think, paralysis resist and silence resist on Shiva, paralysis resist on Ramuh, and you should be good to go. So expect me to take those guys on AP when those trials come. So that's it for the news, guys. Another long one with my personal thoughts and advice and tips. Hopefully it's been entertaining. Hopefully it's been helpful. Again, like I was saying before, it's time for me to kind of share my theory on some base thing, base game mechanic that Global may or may not implement, and that is unit of choice tickets. So a lot of guys, of you guys on YouTube and even on my Discord server, have been talking about unit of choice tickets, and they expect that Gummy will just import unit of choice tickets just like that. Now I am on the suspicion. Now there's no rumor on this. There is no proof of what I'm saying is true, but I'm suspecting that Gummy may not implement unit of choice tickets. If you really think about it, the game core mechanic doesn't need unit of choice tickets, but it's definitely a really nice to have. So if you're playing on JP, you have unit of choice, you know that it makes free to play players stay free to play. Now again, like I said at the really beginning of this video, one of the game's desires is obviously, one, to bring in new people, bring in new players, to get them excited for the game, and obviously the end goal is for the developers to make money. So, you know, what sense would it make if Global implements unit of choice tickets? It just makes free-to-play players become more free-to-play, because they know that they can guarantee, if they grind hard enough, long enough, they're guaranteed to get the rainbow that they want. And basically that is, to me, game breaking. If I was a developer, I would think about it that way. Now most of us would think that, whoa man, if they don't bring in unit of choice tickets, man, we're gonna riot. You know, they're gonna be afraid of us, we're all gonna leave the game. But if you really think about it, FFBE Global has been surviving just as well as JP, and I would say even better in terms of financially, and they didn't need a unit of choice tickets to get it this far. So imagine yourself leaving because you're salty, because no unit of choice tickets, and they're gonna survive, guys. They're gonna survive. So that's my thoughts on it. Just a really random thing at the end of this news video, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What I've been talking about. Are you gonna be pulling for this banner? If you're new, I suspect you would be, and I would recommend that you do. If you're an older player, you know, are you gonna get a second cloud, a third cloud, Alfreda's? Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I really appreciate your viewership. If you have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time.